Hello friends! With you is the Movie Analyst. Today, I will briefly tell you the plot of the fantasy romance genre movie that opened in the year 2022. Before the video starts, if you subscribe to the channel and press like, it will take you only a few seconds, but for us it is great support. So let us begin. The writer Alithia is flying to Turkey to take part in a literature conference. She has a special passion for her work, writing a story about how people will live thousands of years from now. At the airport, she has yet another hallucination. This happens to her all the time. The writer has learned to cope with her peculiarity when she slips into the world of imagination. Nevertheless, she asks the people waiting for her whether they saw a little man beside her, just to make sure that what she saw was only an illusion. While she is speaking in front of thousands of people, the next imaginary vision appears and causes her to faint. Her friends worry about her, but it is not the first time. They tell her to calm down and head to the Turkish market to clear her mind. Pots, carpets, and all kinds of decorations distract the woman from her worries for a moment. Among the lamps, she finds a strange bottle. Despite the merchant offering her more beautiful items, the woman chooses that very bottle. The bottle lies in the woman's apartment until morning. Only after ordering breakfast does she take the bottle in her hand to examine it more closely. To open it, the woman uses a toothbrush to clean its mouth. When she finally manages to open it, something unusual happens. Colored smoke fills the entire apartment. When the smoke clears, she sees large feet protruding from the room. Slowly entering the bedroom, she sees a large dark-skinned man lying in front of her. Turning away, she begs the man to disappear while she counts to 3. Even when she counts to 9, he does not disappear. She tries to talk to him, but his language is not understandable to her. Despite the strangeness and scariness of the situation, the writer remains calm and keeps her composure. When the genie takes human form, she sees that he has already learned English. He offers her Eastern sweets to taste and tells her she has 3 wishes. Of course, the wishes have their own limitations. One cannot wish for eternal life, eternal youth, or the forgiveness of all sins. He also says that when he was in a closed school for girls, he used to be her imaginary friend. But she began to lose her mind and did everything possible to get rid of him, trying to throw the genie out of her head. Now standing in front of her, she realizes this is not a figment of her imagination. The genie is eager for her to voice her wishes quickly, but the writer's view of life, shaped by books and all the stories she has heard about genies, end only in grief. Therefore, she asks to begin with open stories. She wants to know how the genie ended up in the bottle. The genie loves stories and says they help people create even in times of famine. All these events began thousands of years ago. At that time, the genie was free and was the lover of Queen Sheba. The queen herself was not an ordinary person. She was the fruit of the genie's love with a mortal woman. Moreover, what distinguished her from the others was the hair on her feet. When King Solomon appeared in the queen's life, the genie, not wanting to lose his beloved, easily completed all the tasks assigned by Solomon. The queen asked Solomon to remove the hair from her feet. In the end, when the queen and Solomon were in the same bed, Solomon, considering the genie his rival, enchanted him into the bottle and threw it to the bottom of the sea in the year 2005. Having finished his story, the genie asks the woman to tell about herself. But the woman does not have any particularly interesting events in her life. She has neither friends nor relatives nor children. Only a photo album with things from her ex-husband remains packed in boxes in the basement. Her husband accused her of heartlessness and left her because of it. From that moment on, the woman has had no relationships in any format. Their conversation returns to the woman's wishes. When she says she may not make any of the 3 wishes, the genie loses control and almost breaks several hundred bottles from his life. He recalls another event in his life. He fell into the hands of a servant girl in the Sultan's house who dreamed that a prince would fall in love with her among the Red Sea stones. Thus, the genie becomes an involuntary participant in palace intrigues and a witness to the Sultan's evil intentions. With his own eyes, he sees how the Sultan, wanting to keep power, kills his own son. The owner of the bottle, the servant girl, does not manage to utter the 3rd wish because she becomes a victim of harem intrigues. Therefore, the genie knows a new sultan will throw the bottle into the sea. It takes many years of waiting until he is found again by accident. Even then, luck is not on the genie's side. An angry sultan who wished for skill is thrown with the bottle to the bottom of the sea. Thus, the genie spends another hundreds of years at the bottom of the sea. Alithia, however, does not back down from her decision not to make wishes, and this brings the genie anger and incomprehension. Do you really have no desires at all? Thus their conversation continues as the genie recounts the next event in his life. In it he falls into the hands of a very talented scientist girl who even surpasses Leonardo da Vinci. The girl happily fulfills his two wishes, opening unlimited possibilities for knowledge. But like the genie, she has to hide because local society does not appreciate her works and does not give her the opportunity to fully show her talent. Therefore she is forced to hide all her inventions in her room. This greatly angers the girl. Love arises between them. The genie's third wish becomes an obstacle because the third wish would free the genie, and they would be together forever. In anger, the girl says, "I want to forget everything about you forever." The wish is fulfilled. The genie is freed, but the girl forgets with whom she spent the best week of her life and from whom she is expecting a child. Having listened to all these stories, Alethea finally decides what she wants and voices her first wish. She asks the genie to give her the love that all the women who ever had feelings for him felt for him. In addition, she wants the genie to love her the way he loved Zephyr and Sheba. The genie fulfills her wish. In the genie's arms, the woman spends her most emotional night feeling true happiness. The day comes when the writer leaves Turkey and returns to her country, London. She invites the genie to go with her, and the genie happily agrees. At the airport, Alethea worries greatly about the bottle she is carrying in her pocket. The woman's strange behavior raises the suspicions of the security service, and they conduct an additional check on the bottle, but everything ends well. The bottle travels the world with the woman, but ends up on the shelf in the writer's apartment. Thus they begin a new life together. But the genie does not like London at all. He considers this city dirty and noisy. However, he does not waste his time in the city, and using his ability to remain invisible to people, he wanders around hospitals, laboratory centers, and even satellite dish stations to see what achievements people have reached while he was in the bottle. He participates in Alethea's reactions with great interest while exploring the world. Alethea finally believes she has found a man with whom she will spend the rest of her life in peace and quiet. However, one day when she returns home, she cannot find him. Worrying thoughts begin to torment her. She finds the bottle in the place where it was lying and makes her second wish. "Tell me what happened to the genie." But he is there and shows that he wants to spend time with her, yet his actions reveal he is suffering. The woman notices he is in pain. He runs around the apartment breaking things and speaking in his confused language. Alethea understands what the problem is. She thinks about love, because love given by force is not given from the heart. Gathering her strength, the woman voices the last wish. She wants the genie to gain freedom and return to his world of genies. They spend their last night with the writer in the genie's arms. In the morning, alone, she packs his things into a box, takes it to the basement, and puts it on the shelf where all her past is kept. 3 years pass. The woman is sitting in the city park writing a story about 3,000 years of wishes in her notebook. In addition to the woman's memories, there are illustrations. She draws the portrait of her beloved if she wants to keep his image in memory. Putting the final period, she gets up from her place and heads home. But a gust of wind stops her. Closing her eyes, she hopes she is not mistaken, that this is her beloved who has returned. The genie sometimes still appears. The woman does not feel alone. Thus they spend their time together, telling each other new events from their lives. This is where the movie ends. If you want to see such videos regularly, subscribe to the channel, press like, and turn on the bell. With you was the Movie Analyst.